swimming the forbidden zone. They were captured by the shrewdness of apes. But what the hell is the shrewdness of apes? And why is Taylor wearing a man frock and saying city looks like Fraggle Rock? Did the Chambers, did the Innsmouth, Mr. Spot? These are just the facts we try not to mock on. The minute of the apes. 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 Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm your host, Todd. Across from me, I have Richard and Sean with me as always.
Hola.
Hey, I'm still
hola.
enjoying this new year. It's so good.
You definitely have the sound of somebody that's been enjoying it a little bit too
Yay.
much.
It's 80 here in Texas.
It's
January.
It's Thursday. We're almost
2
done.
days
this
ago it
week.
was 30 degrees.
The rest, the rest of you are freezing. We will from 30 to 80.
We
Tomorrow
did.
we'll be
2
down
days.
to 10, and the next day it'll be 100.
We get a little
Exactly.
sleet and then some sunshine after that.
Exactly.
So, on with the show. This minute begins with the discussion of an insidious theory called evolution. And it ends with Honorius
With Honduras.
saying, of course he doesn't know our culture because he cannot think.
Ends with horny Aureus.
So,
Honorius.
Sean, do we have a count update, or what are we doing?
I think at the end of this week we'll only give the updates after they change, but we're still at 2 living humans, 2 confirmed dead, poor Dodge and Stewart, shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humanoids.
Well, just remember, we now have the theory that Stewart offed herself by tapping on that glass so she didn't have to mate with all of
She
them.
didn't have to be the Eve to the new. Garden
Please
of
let me
Eden.
out.
How she volunteered for that, I don't
But at the same time, you know what? She died with dignity because her hair looked gorgeous when
Yeah.
she died and became a mummy.
Ah.
Did it not?
Yeah, it did. It did. It did. I
So,
liked her beard, too. Oh, wait, that was somebody else.
So why are they tightening Taylor's choker so they can't talk anymore, but yet he can still write? I don't understand. So they don't want him to talk, but he can still communicate.
Okay, so
what?
Honorus finishes the last sentence we ended with the last minute, but certain young cynics have chosen to study man, yes, perverted scientists, who advance on the insidious theory called evolution. We're now bringing evolution into this picture that is a theory in this society, that apes are something grander than just God-made, right? And to your point, Sean, Taylor, for the first time, now sits down to start writing. The script has had him has had him seated most of this time, getting up every so often and sitting down, as opposed to kind of being paraded around the center of the room as an animal. But this is the first time you actually see him get to sit down, and he just starts writing.
Yeah. But they put a choker on him so he can't talk, but he can still communicate. I don't understand that.
but this is the minute, and Richard, with your script, tell me, where the state insinuates that Zera created him.
Yes. So, well, I wasn't necessarily trying to get to this earlier minutes. Yes, perverted scientists who advance insidious theory called evolution. The president kind of pushes him along, get to the point, Dr. Honorius, and he says, the state charges that Dr. Zera and a corrupt surgeon named Galen experimented on this wounded animal, tampering with his brain and throat issues to create a speaking monster.
So are
which
those the charges? Are we finally hearing, are these the
I guess-
charges that are coming up in this?
I'm assuming so, but regardless, those charges are amazing because you call it a speaking monster. I call it a creature that you gave the ability to speak and write and use rationale compared to what the apes consider humanity or ape-manity or whatever. I mean,
Ape-manity.
it can talk in a way that they can reason with and understand and have a discussion with. Why is that a monster?
Okay, so we've got the situation happening outside where Taylor has now spoken and the people are upset, right? And we need a reason to pacify the audience outside. So how do we do that? We throw Zera and Galen under the bus? Is that where this is going? Or is this just kind of pulled out because they needed an excuse? Again, I still kind of feel like the scene, the whole courtroom scene kind of unfolds because they want to make a parallel between apes and religion and man and society and religion and science and racism. I feel like the whole thing kind of unfolds like this. But if we're to take Honorius's statement on its surface, it now looks like Dr. Zira is the one on trial.
And when you get down, exactly, she's the Frankenstein of the moment. She's somehow constructed this beast,
Monster.
a monster to do what he shouldn't be doing. He can think, he can reason, whether they want to admit it or not. She truly believes in Taylor, but is he the smoking gun evidence that they brought? He's not on trial. She's on trial. He's there as the proof that she's done something that is against their laws and their reason.
And of course, she leaps up. That's a lie.
And of course, once again, we have the admonishment of a woman. Doesn't he call her madam or something like that?
Mind your tongue, madam.
Yeah.
And Zira's like, did we create his mind as well?
And
Not
then-
only can this man speak, he can think, he can reason.
And he can dance.
Yeah,
He can sing.
So it was nice that Zira instantly said, "Wait, did we create everything about him, or does he is a naturally occurring thing?"
So immediately after, Honorius, to prove that Bright Eyes is not intelligent, asks him to recite the second article of faith.
So if again, I'm going back to our pets all of a sudden became able to speak. If your dog all of a sudden could be able to speak, and you go, "Well, prove you're intelligent. Tell me the Second Amendment." How is that proving their intelligence?
Right.
That's just proving that they know something about your society.
Absolutely.
So we're saying that Dr. Zaius, Maximus, and the president actually know that man is intelligent,
Or at least
but they
this man
They
is.
can't have him be intelligent.
Well, they know this man is intelligent. There might be some suspicion from whatever Cornelius's archives have pulled up, but they know that Taylor is an outlier of some sort.
Right.
That he can speak, he can write, he can rationally speak with them, have a conversation. They're not talking about anybody else. They're just talking about Taylor at this point.
So Zira says this man can speak, he can think, he can reason. And Honorius says man can reason. With the tribunal's permission, let me expose this hoax by direct examination. So I'm now leaning towards the idea, and I've said it a few times trying to figure this out. I'm now leaning towards the idea that they are trying to put the kibosh on the commotion that happened outside. And the only way they can do that is to make Zira and Galen responsible and to show that Taylor was some type of hoax.
Yes.
I mean, that's where I would
That was
go.
so sad, Todd. Yes.
No,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that
Yes.
so pensively. Yes.
No, but I'm trying to think why they're having this trial, right? And I've asked the question multiple times. I feel sorry. And
I don't differ with you, because even though Zira and Galen, is that his name?
Galen
are the ones charged, it makes no sense what's going on in this
Galen's
moment.
not there.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
You're not,
Cornelius is there.
Wouldn't Galen be the surgeon that we saw in the first couple of minutes?
yeah, who
Yeah,
was
he was
bitching
the
about,
surgeon,
could you
yeah.
please talk to Dr. Zaius for
Yeah.
me or something like
Yeah,
that?
he was the surgeon. So what were they hoping? What were they really hoping by those animal experiments? To
They like
make
to do
a
brain.
monster?
They like to do brain surgery to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
With,
but it seems like the brain surgery is more of a neutering of type that's told from on high. At least that's kind of what I'm gathering.
Well, that's what I mean. That's
yeah, well,
Nothing.
Oh, there once again is Richard and I both sort of. That damn it, Sean! Could you just watch the rest of the movie?
I will by the end of the next couple of months.
So 3
So-
months from now,
as you mentioned. Honora says, "Tell the court, Bright Eyes, not Taylor. Doesn't call him Taylor.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Which
What
is
the-
degrading.
what is the second article of faith?" Taylor's like admits, "I know nothing of your culture."
Yeah,
But
of course
immediately,
he
that's a
does.
sign of intelligence too. I don't know. I can determine what you're saying to me is you want me to determine your culture. I don't know anything about it.
And I'm telling you that
I'm communicating
in a
to
language
me.
you can understand.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being able to move around in society in such a way that you can provide for your family, you can put a roof over your head, but you can't do certain things like participate in religious institutions, you can't vote, you can't hold certain positions in companies? I mean, it's almost like they're admitting that Taylor exists, and they're willing to call him Bright Eyes, but they're not willing to give him any status.
Which, again, what is this film doing? It is doing nothing more than telling us the race relations at that time, because everything you just said was what African Americans at that time were going through. I don't know when they got the right to vote. They couldn't. We all know Rosa Parks sat at the front of a bus to defy that she had to sit at the back. So these people couldn't do all these things. So what do? They take a man, they question evolution, and suddenly he's below what we think we may have evolved from, which automatically questions the religion of the time. There's so many questions and slaps in the face to the conventions of that day happening in this 1 minute.
The moment that strikes out for me is thinking specifically about modern day issues with voting rights that we're having kind of the struggle with.
Right.
When Taylor says, "I know nothing of your culture, I admit that." And I'm thinking if he'd walked into an office right now to vote for any office, mayor, city council member, whatever, and they gave him a test when he walked in there to vote. And so when I'm trying to imagine Taylor going, I don't know enough of your culture
your rules
to participate. And I honestly think about voting rights and that idea of having a test to vote.
Yeah.
Sean, you were going to...
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, I just don't understand how they can expect him. They don't accept him as smart or having any sort of logic behind anything he says, but yet they expect him to know whatever the second article of faith is. So which one is it? I'm a stupid thing that has magically learned how to speak, or I'm a part of your society that's supposed to know everything. And if I'm the second one, then does that mean that I get all the rights that are supposed to be given to me, or are you just going to say, oh, it can mimic things that it's heard from other people?
Are apes supposed to know the articles of faith without ever being taught? Is this something that's so ingrained?
Innate,
It's innate to them that they don't even have to be taught it. They just know it.
Well, we're seeing that their idea of society and laws and science are intertwined completely with their religious philosophy and beliefs. We're seeing that it forms the basis of their laws and therefore the basis of their lives.
Right.
I don't know. I hear there's some sort of lawgiver out there. Maybe he can tell us.
Yeah, that lawgiver sucks because his laws suck. Is that it?
I think that's it for me.
Richard?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Thursday, right? Is today
we
Thursday?
got one more day.
Hey,
It's
we
almost
almost
the
have
weekend.
Friday.
Woohoo! So that is it for Minute of the Apes today. We want to thank everybody for listening. Go to our website, talk to us, share us, let everybody know about us. Be the lawgiver to our Minute of the Apes experience. So for Richard and Sean, I'm Todd. We appreciate everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
The minute of the apes. The minute